Hello and welcome to BeamNG Drive. I'm davidinark and welcome back to the Crash Hard Cliff Diving Competition. This time we've got the Wentward buses and the T-Series trucks. Just a quick note, this footage was recorded in version 0.18. As we start things off, the Safari vehicle, not quite sure what to do there as the zebra cuts him off, heads off the edge, and is immediately taken out. However, he blocks the Safari from going anywhere. In the meantime, the base bus is out. It looks like it must have broken its drive shaft on the landing. In the meantime, speaking of landing, the Ram bus makes a landing. It heads out. And then, of course, we've got the Hero trucking quite along there. No problem. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is unbelievable. The Ram bus gets caught right there on the edge and just teeter-totters. In the meantime, the Hero goes over the edge and it lands, not going anywhere. None of the Wentwards make it to the end. Let's move on to the T-Series. We start off the Destroyer getting an early lead. That's not a surprise to anyone, or shouldn't be anyway. Cutting over to the box truck, heading over the edge, and catches the front lip, and it is out of the race as the cement truck rather, falls down right next to it, rolls over, and it is done. In the meantime, back to the Destroyer, having no trouble at all at this point, cruising along as we see the Patriot having some trouble there, riding in between the tracks. Whoa, as the flatbed hauler takes a weird landing there. The Destroyer not able to clear that. It's out of the race. It looks like the Patriot is stuck there in the middle. It is out of the race, so that leaves the flatbed hauler, who seems to be heading off to the right, and that is never good. Yeah, there he goes. Off the edge. We've seen that so many times in this competition. So none of the T-Series make it to the end. No vehicles in today's challenge make it to the end of the run. In the meantime, the full trials are on as we check out the Destroyer. Takes that first bump pretty rough on the back end. As you can see, it's already got a bend in the chassis. However, it is cruising along and it takes that next jump a little hard as well. Able to bounce back out of it and keep going, but you can tell this vehicle is in some trouble as it continues its trek. And there it is, man. It just did not have enough power to kick that back end forward. Ends up teetering right there on the edge of that landing area. And that is the end of the line for that Ram bus. Now, let's check out what happens with the Hero. It's the other jet-powered bus that we've got here in the competition today. Lands hard on the front end, bends the nose up a little bit. That could actually help it out in terms of continuing to land, because that front end is no longer serving as an obstruction to landing. Doing quite well, although losing pieces and parts. The cape is still flying along, waving in the air as the Hero continues. That front end looking worse and worse, and not sure what happened there. It's like the driver just let off the gas and gave up or something. I don't know. There's still juice in the jets. However, it's not going anywhere near fast enough. And that is the end of the line for the Patriot in the ditch. Next up, we have the, was this the jungle, the zebra, whatever this is, the zebra bus, I guess. It heads off, cutting off the Safari bus, but just doesn't have enough speed to make it anywhere else and is quickly eliminated from the competition. But in a sly move, when it cut off that Safari, it prevented the Safari bus from going anywhere, and I guess it served its purpose. I don't know. In the meantime, from the Safari's viewpoint, there it is, that zebra bus cutting it off. It comes to a complete stop, tries to get momentum to carry it over. However, the zebra bus does not have momentum. It blocks the way. And that's the end of the run for the Safari, not taking any damage. It just couldn't find a way to, I guess, back up and get around that Zebra bus. In the meantime, we've got the base bus here, the base Wentward. It manages, to clear that first jump, but there's the problem. The engine fell out. I did not catch that in the original run, and that explains why that bus is not going anywhere anytime soon, just leaving it all right there on the track. That's all for the base. Oh my gosh. Moving over to the T-Series vehicles, we've got the Destroyer. And this bad boy has got one heck of an engine in it, floors it, takes an early lead, and handles the jumps with relative ease, although the suspension is definitely making this one heck of a bouncy brawler, but again, not really seeming to be any problem whatsoever for the Destroyer. There, the back end gets a little high, and I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but the vehicle is slowing down, and it starts to head off the edge, that plow keeping it suspended in the air, but that's the end of the run for the Destroyer. Up next, we've got the Patriot, and it is hauling off in second place. Hits that first, landing a little rough. That suspension on that vehicle is making it bounce, and for whatever reason, the driver, and I'm guessing at this point we've got a bad wheel problem, probably in the front. The driver now off-roading in the Patriot truck, assuming that it cannot get out of there. Yeah, that front driver's wheel looks a little loose. It hits this landing, ends up on the side, but rights itself, puts the gas down, tries to get rolling, and just cannot make it out of the situation that it has put itself into. That is the end of the line for the Patriot T-Series. Up next, we've got the flatbed hauler, who comes out, cuts off that cement mixer, takes a hard hit, into that first landing. However, that cutoff takes out the cement mixer you see in the background falling down to its demise. The flatbed hauler keeps on going. Every time it hits that front end, it's bending the chassis, and that suspension is just bouncing this thing all over the place. Look at that. Every time that back end lands, it starts to get away from the driver. Now, the driver's doing a pretty good job of, maintaining control. However, that smack to the front right there, not good at all. Again, though, the driver doing a pretty decent job of keeping things in line. However, the vehicle definitely has a pull to the left. That front driver's tire wheel, I believe, is completely out of whack. It slides off the track, and that is the end of the race for the flatbed hauler. Speaking of the flatbed hauler, let's take a look at the cement mixer, who gets cut off by that hauler, and I think that is what caused the cement mixer to not be able to complete this first jump. Just couldn't get enough speed to get over that first landing zone, lands smack in the front, falls over to the side, and that is the end of the line for the cement mixer. Now, the box truck gets a really good start here. I'm not quite sure what happens. The front end just takes a complete dive and shatters the truck, stops all of the momentum, and that is the and then to add insult to injury, the cement mixer takes a whack at it. But that poor box truck, suspended in the air, just cannot go anywhere, and none of the vehicles today survive long enough to cross the finish line at the end of the course. Man, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comments section below. Thank you very much to Hero of God, GamerGull, and Mr. Spooky7 for supporting me on Patreon. You can check that out, patreon.com/davidinark. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hey, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on BeamNG Drive. Have a great day.